Thank you all for coming this session, and I will be talking about how I use the AI and how I'm trying to improve my course just in a perspective, and I would like the presentation pretty interactive, so feel free to ask questions if you have. Don't wait until the end of the presentation. And I will be happy to share the presentation as well and have a conversation afterwards. Initially, I was planning to do this poll everywhere activity, but somehow we couldn't make it work. So what we can maybe have in-person poll. So which one do you think the average fail rate for a first semester calculus 1 course, who says 10% of the students are failing? So if you can just raise your hand. Who says 20% of the students are failing? Okay. Who says 30% of the students failing? Okay. And what about 50%? Okay. I guess our poll reflects the correct number. It is the 30%, 30 to 35% of the students are failing. So from Calculus 1 class. And it is very important because most of the STEM courses, math, engineering, physics, in those fields, students have to take the Calculus 1, and most of their upper level classes require calculus knowledge. So if students cannot pass that course, then it's actually affecting their graduation plan. And it also has students not only learning the skills that they use in their future math classes or the future classes, they also learn problem solving skills, learning new things, so critical thinking skills. So they practice all of them. It's not necessarily using the concept of the calculus class, and it also gives a good perspective about using and applying math into different fields. They see those also in the calculus class. And there are a lot of reasons for those fail rates, why it's high, and some of the reasons are beyond our control. So I will be just talking about from the instructor perspective. So the three top reasons: the low student engagement, limited personalization, and undetected misconceptions. And some of those also mentioned in the previous talks as well. I think the personalization was one of the advantages of the AI mentioned at the afternoon keynote talk. And those are some of the challenges and for the traditional calculus class that we can see. And it's low student engagement because in the traditional calculus class, it is more lecture-based. Just the professors stays on the board, just keep writing, even maybe not turning back to the students. And the goal is just to finish that day's plan. The understanding is the students' perception or their goal. They need to figure out if they don't understand. And so, but to address that, the active learning, again, I think we saw in the previous presentations as well. So involve the student actively, the part of the process, and you can quickly check whether they understand or not. And the future topics depends on the previous one. If they don't understand one topic, then most likely they will not be able to understand and do well in the future topics. And most of the traditional calculus class also focused on the rote memorization, how to take the derivative of this function. So the students just learn the process, they just plug in change the variable and plug in, not necessarily have a deep understanding the process, and not necessarily the process, the concept itself. So that is another reason. So they cannot they cannot transfer that calculus knowledge to a physics class, that knowledge to an electrical engineering class, because they were just calculating the derivative of functions, but they don't know what that means in the electrical world or in the physics field or the chemistry fields. And that also caused the lack of motivation for the students. So if there's no engagement, if there is no deeper understanding of the concept, they said like, what I'm learning this, so is it gonna useful in our real life? So they lost their motivation to understand and the question and to learn, to have a deeper understanding of the course. And also the limited feedback is another one. So for the limited personalization, students, if they're lucky, they get just the grade, but not necessarily any feedback for the parts they couldn't do well in the course-related activities. And there are also a lot of reasons for that. If you are teaching 300 students, it's very difficult to give feedback. So there are the other structural reasons as well. And let's have another quick poll for this. There is no right or wrong answer, but just based on your opinion, who thinks that the biggest impact of top performance is low student engagement? Okay. And who says limited personalization and undetected misconceptions? Okay. So it's like maybe all of them, but if there's a low engagement, that may also trigger all the other ones as well for the students to understand and try to learn more about those. All three are very important concepts. And for the calculus and for any math class or any courses, as we learned, the gamification is not only works for the elementary or the high school. Everybody likes games, so we can also try to use that idea for college level courses as well. And for AI powered support, as an instructor, we can use that when we are preparing the course materials, and also when we are giving feedback to the students, we can use artificial intelligence and also maybe train them and encourage them to use as a tutor when they are working on studying the concepts for that course. So because of the short period of time, I would like to share. Personally, I start using the AI to prepare as a learning management system. We use the Canvas. So when I'm trying to prepare the course course site on the Canvas, so when I'm preparing the objective of each module, and when trying to provide some reflections about that, so for the discussion board assignments, I also use the AI for that. So and also preparing the pre-class assignments, where students read the material from their textbook or the provided video resources, and they complete that assignment before they come to the class. And the exit ticket assignment is after they finish all their assignments, and after we have the class, their final checkpoint whether they understand. So the thing is about in those pre-class assignments, the exit ticket assignments, they are not like computational. It's more concept understanding of the students for that topic. So they cannot just plug in and get the answers. So they need to use higher order thinking from the Bloom's taxonomy, basically. And when I was preparing those, I was thinking the students is going to think like, oh, it's another boring thing. But I'm really surprised that, so one student says pre-class assignments have been very helpful and escalating when learning new concepts in class. So they are kind of mentally they are getting themselves ready for the class, and by having familiarized myself beforehand, learning is more efficient during the class. The exit tickets have been helpful in reflecting what was just exercised in the homework and helps in memory retention for future exams and the classes. So, and in terms of also feedback, I try to write individual feedback to the students and also include some motivational pieces in it. So engagement is very important. So, and in math class, they generally see like it is a boring subject, but when you give some encouragement to them, you did well in those problems, let's work on this, some of those issues, but just keep pushing and keep working hard. And so I collected some results from pre-class assignments and the exit ticket surveys. The first one is about asking them pre-class reading assignment is whether preparing students for the class content. So over like 92% are saying whether very helpful or somewhat helpful. So they were appreciating actually those assignments. Initially I was thinking they would just not engage and they will not find that much helpful. And the same thing for after the completing the exit ticket assignment. So whether they feel confident about that concept or that module. So 67% said much confident and somewhat more confident than 25%.
What is the sample size?
About 15 students, not too big. And so what about the combination of pre-class reading assignment and exit ticket assignments enhance their overall learning experience for that course or particularly some subjects? For the 2% of them said strongly agree, and so it's in the high part. So they are actually seeing those assignments or activities pretty effective and useful. And also the comments that I write for their assignments that I provide them, they were also finding very helpful or extremely helpful. For the first one, that also give feedback about their mistakes or some tips and the tricks, how can they work on and improve their understanding for that course. And also encouraging, so the lack of motivation and engagement was one of the big reasons. So I tried to put some growth mindset ideas and some encouraging ideas in those comments. So they found strongly encouraging to stay engaged with the course or reach out if they are struggling with. So let's finish up. I guess our time is up. So just maybe 2-3 minutes for the questions.
Question. Thank you. Typically, how much time does the student spend before the class, like reading and answering those concepts? Is it like half an hour, an hour?
I don't ask like in-depth questions. When they just look through the material, they should be able to answer. So 30 minutes should be good enough. I think another reason is I would like them to feel of being able to do it. So they are pretty easy when if they just look the material, they can answer. Like it's not in-depth understanding, so they can feel that. So 30 minutes would be good.
What about the post
class? That require a little bit deeper thinking. So maybe an hour or so. They need to understand the concepts, compare those concepts. So it's about maybe 45 minutes, an hour would be a good estimate for that. And also it's before I used the AI to prepare those activities, it was taking a lot of my time to prepare them. But with the AI, it also cut my preparation time. You don't just get everything there of always we revise and check and make sure it's correct or not, but it's also saving my time. Otherwise, maybe I will not be able to prepare those if you are teaching four classes every semester.
Any other questions? Yeah, please.
Thank you for the great presentation. As you know, half of AI is mathematics, but people generally focus on the programming side. So I thought discrete mathematics and differential equations for the computer science students. For example, they know graph theory, but they don't use graph theory in the future classes. So that's why I agree with you. We need to, and maybe we have to integrate that part into the program. So the perspective of computer science for future classes, for example, differential equations, linear algebra, calculus, optimization theory, individual theory, and other application areas. Otherwise, we will be only application engineer and will not be able to work out the So can we customize calculus for example, computer science, like math for computer science, math for chemistry, math for biology, or technical, cultural business? Is it possible to do that?
So, but
It's a very good question.
yeah, like it's already for business. There's a calculus for business already, and calculus for math majors is there, and calc for engineers, but not specific to the chemistry and the biology. What I do is, depending on what type of students are taking chemistry, biology, engineering, I try to put some applications from the fields that the student I have. But it's definitely not too difficult to tailor or create that course specific to the electrical engineers, specific to the biology or the chemistry majors. It's not too difficult, so that is definitely possible. And depending on the school, if there are enough students just from the chemistry majors, students would benefit. On also the instructor would be also will be benefit from that introduction and more tailored approach to the calculus. But it is definitely possible, just picking applications from those specific domain fields.